For many years now I've been making wooden rings, and a crazy amount of people seems to be interested in it as well. So I came up with these 3D printable tools that will allow you to make wooden rings easier on a micro lathe. Back in the days I started turning wooden rings like this, but soon I learned that if you do it that way, the ring is gonna break very soon. The strongest way to make a wooden ring is rolling wood veneer, but many other people have already made great videos on this topic. What I don't like about this technique is that you just can't use different kinds of woods. And this is why I turn my wooden rings in a different way. My technique consists of gluing together multiple sheets of wood with epoxy resin and then drilling out a hole that is slightly smaller than the final inner ring diameter. Then you can cut out a rough ring shape. You should rather leave too much material than too little. Put it on your spreading tool and turn it into a ring. For a long time I went back and forth on what cutting tool I can recommend to you guys. In the past I cut my own chisels, but you really need to sharpen them, otherwise they won't cut well. Recently though, I stumbled across these metal cutting tools on AliExpress, and they work really well for this task. There's no need to sharpen them, you can just replace them, and making a handle was quite an easy process. Deciding on the thickness of your ring is always a gamble. Of course the thinner ring is nicer, but it's also gonna break easier. I can't give you a magic number, trust me, I really wish I could, but each ring is unique and the fibers will be different. Just turn some rings, try around, and see how strong they are. One important thing is that you don't clamp your ring blank onto the spreader with too much force. If you do, it's definitely gonna break while you turn it. Always remember that you can quickly swap out the ring holders in order to give you access to the side of the ring. Once you're done, all that's left is treat it with some sandpaper. I used 100 grit in this instance and then afterwards 240. I don't think there's many things that are more satisfying than oiling your finished ring. I made two different types of ring holders. One of them spreads the ring from the inside and the other one grabs the ring from the outside. The reason for why there's different kinds is the ring sizes. On the bottom of the tool holder, just check what size it's for. For both kind of ring holders, you're going to need to insert a 6mm shaft into the main pieces. It does not matter what it's made out of, but just make sure it doesn't slip. So if it does, consider some glue or a pin. For the spreading units, it would be ideal if you have a thread cutter. If you don't, then download the pieces that are labeled as no thread cutter needed. All the spreading and holding arms are just screwed in place with little screws. On this piece, keep in mind that there's two different locations for the arms due to different sizes. These tiny wedges are supposed to be glued onto the grabbing arms. If you have any questions, then ask them in the comment section, and with that being said, I hope you have an amazing time turning wooden rings.
Well, I finally got a strategy and caught myself a man. I pepper sprayed his eyeballs and I threw him in my van. I took him to the church and when at last we heard the bells, he somehow got away and now I hope he goes so well. There's a ring around the moon, a ring around the rosy, a ring around my socks that keep my feet so cozy. Well, I'm a single woman and I don't